I'm still the ramp guy, but I do sometimes like to have a cheeky peek from Secret every now and then.
Yeah.
Let's see what this match will bring to the table. Cr4zy and HellRaisers will now start their knife rounds. And of course, the team that wins the knife will most likely start on that CT side. And well, for the other team, that might be a problem. And let's hope they won't be too toxic.
No, nobody likes toxic players, right? We'll see, though. Maybe HellRaisers, they can potentially prove themselves. It's crazy. The Ukrainian lineup, HellRaisers with the more Baltic/Russian lineup, I'd say. Now it seems to be... Oh, this is close, but JR, he has that HP advantage, which means that HellRaisers now grab the knife round. And they started off well. And they show that, you know, this might be their little stepping stone that they need. They can start on the CT side, almost a given that they are going to switch sides, obviously. And you can see the UI changing accordingly as well. Cr4zy with that, you know, having a bit of a tougher fight ahead of them, you know. It means it doesn't start off as well. It doesn't start off as conveniently as they might like.
No, indeed. There is a player from the HellRaisers side currently trying to reconnect, most likely, as I can, well, try to think from the players missing. It will be JR. Of course, the legend winning the knife round in the end. Maybe he didn't have any sound, but he was still able to stippity step, as of course he will be back in due time. And indeed, he just joins the server. It's going to be interesting. HellRaisers should be the stronger team. Going on towards their opponent's map pick from the get-go might, of course, make it a little bit harder. But still, we would expect HellRaisers to be able to easily win this, right?
They should be, you know? That's the whole outlook for them. It's HellRaisers, they have the good track record. They have the better HLTV ranking. Not by a lot, you know, by only 4 ranks, but it is still something to keep in mind. And, yeah, they just... I'd say HellRaisers, well, players-wise, they maybe... I don't know. Would you say that they have a certain player advantage? One thing I did notice beforehand is that their players, they all play very consistent. You don't have outliers. You have everyone around the same HLTV rating. Everyone showing up as much as they need to consistently.
Well, the big thing is for JR, of course, being very, very experienced. We see James first getting the kill, then, of course, Kalinka stepping up as well. There's a double for him, bomb drop. And Sensei will be able to get one in return towards the player, playing from that A main area. Sensei now goes to the P250 in towards Secret, trying to find yet another target for himself as he has a double of his own. Yet the problem is the bomb is still lying in that yard area and JR is just chilling. Currently on the rafters and saying, well, whenever a player might come towards the B side, it will be easy for me. And Kalinka, he's also just standing by as Q is trying to follow up, but Flarage, he should be wary because, well, he does spot the player. It was almost to be taken out if at least Q looked at the right way. It's going to be him low, 6 HP, going back towards the hut. And luckily for Kalinka, he manages to win the close range fight. A triple kill for him. The player needs just 1 bullet, but eventually will overkill with a headshot. 1-0 for the side of HellRaisers. And so far, they are starting off strong. Also, of course, being able to start on the CT side.
Yep, that's a nice little, well, kind of, I'd say launch for them, maybe is the right way to put it. The CT side kind of, well, pushing them out there, really giving them the head start that they might need to really just get this in their favor, to get this going. But we'll see. It can still become so much. It can still go so wild sometimes. So if Cr4zy can turn it around in, for example, this second round, although I doubt it because this is even a clean eco by the looks of it, not a single thing bought.
Well, we do see Problem just trying to spray a little bit of his MP9. It's going to be James with the first frag. Also, the outer shot is coming in once more. Kalinka getting to, being helped out by Flarage as well. Makes it only Q alive, who actually gets the bomb plant down. So that's quite valuable for the side of Team Cr4zy. Of course, going into their first buy round soon. But at least they managed to make it work. The problem is they've also granted some money on towards the side of HellRaisers. There's been 2 kills for James and his MP9. And as well, 2 kills for Kalinka and his auto shotty, making $1,800 for himself. That will mean they will be able to buy quite well in towards the next, as a slight bit of team damage came through. And if JR didn't have head armor, he would be rather salty by that occurrence. at least a very clean round. You just see them playing it out quite well. The problem is that Kalinka had to go towards the hut because there was so much pressure, meaning DemQ uncontestedly could go down towards, of course, that B bomb side. 2-0, AWP for Cr4zy, and oh my god, he's already been knifed by his teammate. That's not really the way to start, especially if you know that you're up against some M4s as well. Actually, only one on towards Flourish. Bonus round for HellRaisers. That might actually hurt you. Also, still a scout on JR, so if it would have been, or actually, well, with this HP, because he's been tagged once more, a scout shot could actually do the trick, and that would mean, well, JR will be quite surprised if he gets it without headshot, but I think he would be rather glad as well.
That would be just, the tilt factor would be real, I think, for Cr4zy then. Especially Cr4zy, who's also actually, on the crazy side of things, one of the better players, you know. That is something to really keep in mind, and of course, also another thing to keep in mind that I've just noticed, J Lime apparently.
It's apparently just Lime. It's going to be Cr4zy with the opening kill on towards JR. That's his scout out of the question. And that's unfortunate for the side of HellRaisers, hoping to at least bank on some free upgrades if they do win towards this match. Kalinka standing by the other shotty once more, having that, well, I wouldn't say beautiful, maybe slightly horrendous skin in his hands. Colors just don't really match that well. And that smoke is a little bit of a waste from Psycho, as he then has to go for the different wave that actually plays in towards their favor, because Kalinka was looking from that dark spot rather than Toxic. And it means that Toxic may be going towards that A side. It's going to be Lime with first kill. Flourish as well on towards Toxic, making it a 3-on-3. And there's actually an upgrade from that P9 also coming in. Bomb will be planted. Cr4zy in the smoke will now be taken down. It's a 2-on-3, actually doable for the side of HellRaisers. And they even have a defuse kit on towards Problem. However, they now also have to get on towards the side of Psycho. Will now be not tagged up and not even contested that much by the Molotov coming in. And Problem will have to try to open it up from the hut area. Will not get the kill, and that means it's going to be a clean hold eventually from the side of Cr4zy, with eventually also that first round in their favor. Yet, of course, by saving up, HellRaisers has some money to work with and will be able to buy as well.
We'll see now if HellRaisers do actually, well, pull off an even better round, I'd say, with this pretty much full buy. I mean, utilities there, weapons, armor, etc. should all be good. We can see again now the replay, how it was kind of down to the wire and actually had the HellRaisers advantage, but then Cr4zy playing so well from hut and really showing up.
Meanwhile, JR with the AWP will go aggressive. The shot will be missed by Cr4zy, and that's an instant frag from JR. Able to commit as Toxic moves up. Will he be spotted out? No, he won't. He gets a frag on towards JR, but Lime will be on top of that container. He should have probably watched in towards that direction. That's Problem. Now also with an auto shot, he's standing close by. Will go for the pre-fire, but can only deal some damage on towards Psycho. And now we do see actually the rotation once more go towards the B side, which has favored the side of Cr4zy before. At least getting some plants in, as we do see Kalinka and the M4 trying to move in. DemQ holding the angle will now be flashed off, as there will be some pressure as well from a teammate in towards double doors. This might be a two-man play, but still skill for Kalinka. Free fire as well. It's a double with some help of Problem, meaning Cr4zy is now in some problems of his own. He's going to wait still at his ramp position. The bomb actually planted more towards Toxic, which I think they can actually long arm from safety. Yeah, they want to go for this frag because it would make it somewhat easier. Team Flash coming down. Cr4zy is now being spotted out. Will be challenged by two players. That's an instant, easy refrag. And there will be that defuse kit on towards Kalinka. And luckily so, because otherwise they wouldn't have had the time to still get the defuse in. But still, this is a very good bounce back. Problem is, however, there has been a bomb plant from Cr4zy. Meaning, well, they have enough money to buy on most of their players. And I would assume, knowing that, of course, HellRaisers doesn't have the best economy, they would actually go for that investment.
They should, though, in the end, I think.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
They're listening to me as well. Makes me happy.
Yeah, look at that, you know. Ooh, Org even coming in from Problem. We've seen that one used in the past on Nuke in the previous match. Let's see if this time it can maybe show up a little bit better, you know.
DemQ moving through some nades, and of course the incendiary being set up to forego a possible rush. He will get a good flashbang. DemQ will get the first frag as well. Where's the pressure from side? Well, JR from heaven, I believe, gets the first frag. Zerk is now going low. Flourish and JR moving up to get more frags. However, the deagle from Cr4zy will do something, and Sensei as well with a frag of his own. Is Galil shining through? His Problem will be tagged up. It's going to be a 2-on-2, but damage being dealt, and Problem once more going lower. I believe moving through an incendiary or something, as he will now go for a first frag of his own. Will go for the second, possibly a Sensei. Currently also at that fence area, but JR is moving in 4-1. And HellRaisers is slowly gaining the lead if they want to go for more, as it's going to be so far Cr4zy struggling. But maybe later on, they will make it back. So far, the rounds have been close. So far, they have had some very good chances of their own. Yet they just weren't able to commit and eventually get those rounds in. And it's settling. It's unsettling if you're a Cr4zy fan. And they will go for an eco this time around again with, well, of course, a few upgraded pistols. But some nades might actually deal a lot of damage early on with Lime standing by right here in that A main area. Chances are he will be pushed soon, and if there would be a flashbang, it could work out, yet there isn't any. And thus he will just smoke off the squeaky door. However, I believe a teammate will already be in that squeaky area, at least lobby. And Lime is standing by. He's expecting something like this, and a room boost will come through. DemQ going for a peek towards CT, where Kalinka is standing by with JR. And eventually, Lime will get another kill of his own. JR will just get frag after frag, as only Sensei is alive in a 1v5 situation. And eventually, he will also finish it off, as it will be a 5-1. HellRaisers, a very good start. They're now also building some economy, and that's vital. It's important. Yet, now up against the buy again, Cr4zy has seemed strong and scared possibly for the side of HellRaisers. They are not able to keep it going this way because, well, Cr4zy so far seeming strong, just needing 1 or 2 frags per round extra.
Yeah, and that makes it rather tough, you know. You can start that, how do we put it, the deficit for Cr4zy, so you can see it getting bigger and bigger, and, well, before you know it, you know, HellRaisers might actually build up a way too serious advantage on their CT side. J-Lime now falling back a little bit. Problem here with a good spray through the smoke can actually tag Psycho a little bit. That's potentially a bit of a return for the damage dealt to HellRaisers in the start of this round. As you can see, J-Lime and JR both with a, well, JR with even more health lost, but both a considerable chunk taken away. Surges from Silo could make a certain difference here, although there isn't really that much HellRaisers presence left here.
Well, we do see a little bit of a slower round coming in this time from the side of Cr4zy. Psycho now being tagged up. That's negating a little bit of the damage they did earlier on towards, for instance, JR and Lime. But Lime still standing the long angle all the way in towards CT, and this yard pressure isn't too much, but I'm expecting it to be an A play. DemQ at a squeaky door. A player just went down in towards defense from the HellRaiser side. He's going more towards Secret, but well, that means they have a player less defending on towards A as Lime takes the first one. Kalinka also with the follow will go for more, but he will fall to Surgis. He's going to be the player on side. Flourish to get one, drop the bomb as well. 30 seconds left on the clock, and his spray will be returned. As Sensei takes down Problem, but the Problem is Knight will be there, as it's going to be Psycho in a 1v3. Sees a player fall. There will be 2 on side. Well, actually, only 1 as he gets a frag. The other one will have to rotate. Flashbangs coming in, but Flourish, of course, an anchor of his own, will get that round in, and 6-1. Cr4zy dealing some good damage. They are rather close, yet for some reason they are not committing.
Yeah, the commit is kind of where it went wrong, and you could also see at the end there, Psycho, he was in a tough little position where he had to kind of dance around the bomb and try and get the result in there, but that was, of course, not really winnable for him anymore. He had to dance around so much that he just ran right into the crosshair of the HellRaiser player. And that means that so far, HellRaisers are also off to a really, really good start. These initial CT rounds passing before you can even blink twice, you'd say. And with that, it makes it paints a worrying picture for Cr4zy. Right now, I assume there might be a tactical timeout called, especially seeing as the timer is counting further down now. And the question is, what's Cr4zy going to do with this, well, economy that they have? Would you say that they should commit to a buy, or do you think that the, for example, amount of cash on Toxic is too little to work with?
Well, because they have so little money, you might... oh, they're already invested into the pistol armor. That makes sense.
Okay.
Well, of course, with their loss bonus, they will make loads of money.
Yep.
But, of course, they're also hoping that maybe towards the next round, they will be able to make a bigger dent. Of course, in this round as well, they could deal some decent damage. They could make a lot of stuff work as JR playing on that ramp before, at least to help his teammate out with some utility. Now a little bit of a spray coming down for Problem, setting up with a nade to stop out the player rushing. First kill coming in, now he has to fall back. But at least he has support from JR later on if things go south. He deals a lot of damage, yet it is not enough to gain his life back as well. Cr4zy on 4 HP, Q on 44, and Toxic still alive.
Never mind. Yeah, he was alive there for a split second before he said it. Q can maybe deal a bit of damage here, but it doesn't really connect that much as he's the only player left standing now. There's people pushing him from, well, just about everywhere. And J-Lime in the end finishes him off. Takes him out, and HellRaisers, they just continue. They don't stop winning, you know.
Did you see Lime just running after the smoke? I need it! I want free upgrades!
Oh, I didn't know, actually. It was rolling down the ramp.
Yeah, he just wanted to grab
it.
By the way, just a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If Q was playing as an AWPer, what would be the button he pressed most of the times?
Q?
Q indeed, to swap back.
Yeah, see, for me that doesn't work because sadly, I have Azerty.
Azerty, that's so weird.
Yeah, because you know my laptop, remember? You can't... Yeah, that's the joy of living in Belgium, even though you do live in Flanders. It's actually quite silly, I will admit. You know, Cr4zy is better. Oh, delicious start by the round. Of the round, even by HellRaisers. Q goes down. And Cr4zy's the only man left standing. And the nade is going to tag him a little bit. Not that much. Not as much as I anticipated. It was just not deep enough. With that now, though, Cr4zy, he's stuck in a corner here. They know the bomb is there. They might even know that Cr4zy's there. And what is he going to do?
Just wait. Hope to at least get some exit frags for his own. Because so far, HellRaisers, apart from JR, not really that rich. Of course, Flash also on towards 9,000, which is quite odd for an A-side anchor that has been contested a few times. But, well, Lime, Problem, Kalinka, they have some reserves, yet not too much. The important thing for HellRaisers is now trying to save some money of their own, as there will be that peek coming in from Cr4zy, but of course, sort of a crossfire being held. They know the bomb is here, they expect the player to be here as well, and thus the wall banks will soon come in. It's going to be Problem now moving up as they do have an ID saying, well, we have covering fire at least, or at least suppressive fire. As now there will be one more player on towards the A side. Flash with a wall bank cleanly coming in. And now the double AWP saved as well for HellRaisers. And that's an interesting upgrade. Something to change things up as they, well, should be expecting the side of Cr4zy not to have that good of an economy. So you would expect them to most likely go for a quick round. So then picking up the second AWP in this round is a little bit of a risk in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's a solid opinion, you know, that's pretty much spot on, I'd say. And speaking of risks, you know, HellRaisers also having now achieved that definite first half advantage with their 8th round. And by the way things are looking, I'm afraid this might be an advantage that is only going to win. Oh, nade, serious damage by that nade. And oh, look at that, Kalinka, the cleanup crew along with Problem. With this P250, might even get a frag. Yes, he does. Kalinka is there really just the key player along with Problem there. Solid hold on the B ramp. And, well, you know, I'd ask Cr4zy what's the problem, but Problem is on the HellRaiser side. Yes, I know, that was terrible. I know.
I thought I was the guy with the bad jokes.
But nope.
But look at this, Problem just getting the first frag and then getting a nade, a Q tag on towards the player, slowing them down as well. Kalinka had the time to rotate back, gets the first 2 frags, and of course, already softening the target of Cr4zy, needing only 1 more bullet to go down. Clean round from HellRaisers, and you just see how strong they are on already this map, and maybe the second as well. Cr4zy, they will be in a lot of trouble, but hopefully for them, they will be able to bounce back, and hopefully for me as well, because in the Fight.gg caster clash, I lost a little bit of money today. Yep, but I'm banking on going big.
You've made some serious investments.
I've invested.
Yep.
And I'm hoping it will at least pay off, but sometimes you just gotta believe, you know? Gotta believe in a thing called love, and of course in a thing called HellRaisers, because so far, they seem to be very strong, but they also need to be this strong later on in towards this match. Of course, going towards the T side, it will be a little bit harder. But I do believe that they will be able to make it work, because just looking at the historic data, they are so much stronger than Cr4zy. And of course, it also eventually gets into your head as well, wouldn't you say? I've had many times when you play against certain players time and time again, it really grinds you down. As now we have Florence, of course, still anchoring and getting a double kill. That is all of the risk, or at least all of the pressure negated from Cr4zy. Apart from Circus, will Don still go towards outside, and there's Problem standing by, actually to refrag JR, who messed up his shot. So that's a decently expensive round for Cr4zy. But looking at the score, it's 10-1.
Yeah, and honestly, Cr4zy, they don't get the chance to build up any reserves. You know, there's nothing really going in their favor. It's all looking way too tough for them. And just with that, it paints such a negative outlook for the rest of this map, really. You could say, well, it was Cr4zy's map pick, so they should have had a much better shot on this. Even if, you know, you're not on the CT side, your T side shouldn't be this, well, bad even, I dare say, you know?
Ooh, well, yeah. We see Demq standing by Squeaky. Will be some secret control. They're moving through the molly as well. Demq at least with the first frag on towards Kalinka. Now JR saying, oh boy, there's some pistols coming, gotta move. And he moves after getting just one frag in return. That's at least a little bit of a counter. It works out as there will be a flashbang towards that secret area. JR still standing by, hoping to get yet another player in towards his crosshair. He will, and he misses his shot, but there will be Lime. And there will be some Lion players as well. Another one going towards the side. Problem still standing by with his AWP on towards ramp. Now spotting again, getting yet another frag as JR will go down. It's going to be that 3-on-2, and well, it's going to be yet another frag as only Sensei is alive in a 1v3. He does have the bomb, however, so he might want to go towards A, but the problem is there's one anchor that will never leave the A side, and his name is Flarage, who then of course gets the last kill and pushes Sensei back in towards the fence, only to be walked upon by Lime. 11-1, and I'm worried for Cr4zy.
Yeah.
Because if you're going in towards a series like this, you're saying, okay, we've learned from what our mistakes were in the past, and we're going to improve. We're going to be better. We're going to give them a fight in the next time. And then at this moment in time, you're just losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. How will you mentally bounce back from what's currently going on?
It destroys your morale, you know, and I believe now there's a timeout called for who it might be. I dare say Cr4zy.
Most likely.
Wouldn't be the craziest idea. But HellRaisers with that, you know, look at their reserves as well, right? Flarich, the consistent A-site anchor, as you just highlighted him, man's almost at the money limit. And HellRaisers, 11 rounds over 1, you know, it all shows so much that these two teams are, well, I'd say maybe so far the biggest disparity that we've seen.
Oh, I dare to say indeed. So far, I don't think we've ever seen a 10-round lead so far in the VitalGG Legends series. And, well, looking at the world rankings, you expect it to be close. Yet, looking at the performance so far from HellRaisers against Cr4zy, you could imagine a win to come in. And it seems to be just that. HellRaisers doing well, but we can't write off Cr4zy just yet. Maybe they're the sickest, and then by far the sickest CT-sided team ever, because they need to be, looking at the score already posted by their opponents. 11 rounds so far, now throwing in a new buy round, and I'm curious to see if they will be able to at least get a few more rounds in. At least they have the opening kill. It's Sensei taking down JR. Bring it in towards a 5-on-4, and Lime is still standing by, but as the smoke dissipates, Toxic will be able to see him. That's yet another frag. Cr4zy is making it work, but the problem is that the moment they win this round, there's still so much money on towards HellRaisers. They can buy this round, the next, and possibly even the one after.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's nothing to worry about for HellRaisers, basically, financial-wise. Cr4zy, they can hope and they can dream, perhaps, that they make the best out of it, that they really do maybe get 1 or 2 more rounds in here, but even that is looking uncertain at this point, you know? It's a shame, but it's the harsh reality. And even now, I'm worried if they're going to go on top of the, well, onto the bomb site. I worry, is that bomb push going to be successful? Now there's crossfire here. That flash is good. Kalinka can come in first, gets the second. And look at that. The round is completely turned around. Cr4zy had the 2-man advantage, and now it's down to equal. Problem gets Toxic, and Look, it's only Sensei left, a round of which you'd say, okay, Cr4zy has a chance. They've at least got one extra round, but not even that, you know?
Well, at least they get a bomb plant in. It's something, to say the least, as well. Problem will try to rotate quickly through the fence, at least get some pressure there. Sensei wants to cover him off, but they hear the doorway. And they might be expecting him to be here. There will be a jump from Problem as a very good bait. No scope coming in from Sensei. Nikolinka is like, oh, do I have to pull or push or pull or push? And he pulls. But then he decides after a while he pushes and the door goes open. It will be 12-1. HellRaisers win yet another round. And could this be a 14-1 halftime? Because, well, there is money on Cr4zy. They can buy again, but even their buy rounds, they're not looking too solid at this moment in time. And, well, I'm a little bit scared. It might be that Cr4zy won't get too many rounds in at all in towards this match. Unless if they start doing something in return now, or possibly if they start getting rounds in on their CT side. At least they need to win the pistol. If they don't, it's done and dusted, and HellRaisers will just be happy to take it home. We're going to see DMQ standing by. It's going to be a lot of pressure towards that ramp area coming down from Cr4zy. As Lime is setting up with his utility as well. Nothing much happening apart from Problem spawning some players. 2 players to say the least. And he will then drop back. Will there be support from the Hell area? Yes, there will be a player standing by. However, a molly not properly thrown will block off JR for the time being. It's going to be Cr4zy slowing down themselves. And that means HellRaisers just redistribute their players. Stand by and wait for their push to come in. And eventually to possibly get more frags.
And getting frags is what we live for. That's what we do it all for.
Oh.
Toxic does open it up well, even with some unintended help from JR, actually. Kalinka goes down by the hands of Cr4zy. JR, though, throws it back, you know.
I expected him to die because you saw the player move in the moment JR had his back turned. Now, the A side will actually be open as Sensei and Sergis both with a kill. It will actually be the plan and possibly a second round for Cr4zy. Crazier things have happened. As it's going to be Toxic now taking one on towards Problem as well. That's the second up going down for HellRaisers. As they are still holding on, trying to at least save his weapon. But from the right side in main, there will be that player pushing through. He spots him, he kills him, and now goes for the yard take. Toxic will be there, however, and that's going to be the round for Cr4zy. 12-2, and they can still bring it back to a 12-3.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, but see HellRaisers, right? Do you think they have trouble buying?
They're spending all their money, making it rain, literally.
Exactly, and that's also one of the worrying things, you know. And Cr4zy, at a certain point, right, they actually had a 2-man advantage. This time round, they didn't throw it away. But even then, you know, what's the risk of them throwing away those advantages again and again? I worry for the team, and right now, I'm not even sure how this round is going to go. I hope for Cr4zy that they can at least grab the last round, you know, make it into something positive, but ooh, it doesn't start off that well. Sensei tag, Toxic as well. And they are going for that outside control. At least Toxic is. The rest of the team is really going to push through on that lobby position. Toxic could come in the flank here. He could provide a nasty surprise for the HellRaiser side. But then he does have to pull it off.
There's 2 players standing by, of course, Lime as well, who has been tagged up by some utility. JR wants to peek towards Squeaky as the smoke will dissipate. He will get that angle and he will hold it for the time being, of course, being supported by his mate. Toxic has fallen back. Psycho will go down to Problem, now falling back again. Or actually still contesting, rather, on towards the ramp position. Problem is going to play from Hell. That means if they do go for a B take, it will be hard to at least alleviate the pressure. But look at this, Kalinka gets one. Also a good tag on towards DMQ. It's only JR now falling back as DMQ gets another. A 3-2. HellRaisers are losing ground and actually losing the A side as well. Yet Flarage is always standing by, but this time he will be executed swiftly. Oh my god, that's a bomb dropped!
Oh no.
JR still standing in defense, and the no-scope will make it work. Toxic low after being tagged by Problem.
This nade?
And touchdown! No, not just yet. It's going to be Toxic standing by in the 1v2, and he will still have that AK in hand, but will be fragged out 13-2. HellRaisers. This is almost painful. No double digits in the kills for the side of Cr4zy. However, none below the 10 margin for the side of HellRaisers. And, well, they are just too strong. A whole nother league. And I think that HLTV rating of theirs should be a little bit better than that of Cr4zy.
Yeah, seriously, though. it's that, or you know, HellRaisers have really Cr4zy have really found their arch nemesis in HellRaisers. You know, them being just the one team that Cr4zy cannot go up against whatsoever in any situation.
We're currently in Germany, and in Germany they have a term for that, Angstgegner.
Ah, yes.
And hopefully the production will be proud that I at least pronounce it somewhat right.
I think you did a decent job.
That's just whenever you go up against a certain team you know you've lost from in the past, and you know that you've tried everything to improve, and still it always goes that way. And you think, well, statistically, maybe we should be equally matched. Just every time it just doesn't work out. And I think that might be the case right now for the side of Cr4zy against HellRaisers. Maybe HellRaisers is their Angstgegner.
It does sound nice, you know, that word. Let's see, though. Maybe, just maybe, Cr4zy does turn things around on Nuke. It was their own map pick. They should at least have somewhat of a chance. I put in that, you know, Cr4zy would stay under 4 rounds, so...
Oh, risky.
Yeah, well, under 5, I guess, technically. It just depends. It starts out well, though. HellRaisers, J-Lime gets Sensei fragged. And Toxic now here at that heaven position. HellRaisers still playing somewhat slow on the T side. Cr4zy can actually frag JR. Well done by him. He does kind of get scared away from ramp, though. And then J-Lime here. Exceptional positioning. Unexpected by Cr4zy. Means that now HellRaisers is able to push for that B bomb site. They don't encounter any resistance. They've already got the bomb plant down in a 1-2. Oh, wait. No. Psycho? Never mind. Kalinka denies it.
They were waiting for him, waiting to collect yet another frag. His Toxic is moving through. A player just went through the double doors, but Kalinka always ready to frag. And then you will be a little bit unexpected by Lime. It's going to be the 1v3 and low HP. That's an easy frag to come in from Kalinka. A third for himself, a 14th round for HellRaisers. Of course, now a force buy to come in from the side of Cr4zy. There's no reason to eco anymore. But still, this is not the situation they wanted to be in. And just looking at how easily, once more, HellRaisers was able to push through, was able to get at control. It's a little bit scary.
But honestly, as well, at the end there, right, Dem Cr4zy, like the situation he was in, he should have at least gotten a frag out of it, and he did. But then how clunky, how messy was that?
That was his first mag of the CZ as well.
And you know, you were talking about Angstgegner, and he was a bit of an Einzelganger there at that B ram site. See? But let's see now if it's going to stay like that. HellRaisers, they can finish this out in 2 rounds. They can get the first map in their pocket. It would be one of the swiftest maps that we've seen yet. So Cr4zy, the pressure is onto them now to at least provide, you know, that chance, at least show that they can throw it back, that they can actually provide a little bit of resistance to HellRaisers, but it is looking mighty unlikely.
Cr4zy standing close by with the MP9 in hand will actually be tagged down quite easily by Problem. Of course, the AK is superior, and that one thing he had answered by another by the T side. They have dealt damage, however. Lime gone down by the scout tag of Sensei early on. 2 players at 30 HP. With those pistols, that should make some easy work as long as you do get some good angles in. And well, let's see. It's going to be Nexus taking on HellRaisers possibly later after this match. And well, first, it seems like HellRaisers is going to close this one quite easily. Not giving away too many stress because there's not too many rounds. Bomb towards the B side planted, and they're still hunting from lobby as well to take down the remaining players. They know it's a force buy, and they don't want to give anything towards the side of Cr4zy. Yet another frag, and that means that Cr4zy is now on a 5-on-3. Dem Q will try to save at least his Deagle and armor. But, well, you know what sometimes is said in a chat as you're crying? QQ. Yeah, and I think that's currently happening for him and his team.
Yeah, there has to be some QQ coming from Cr4zy. Oh, lovely 1 dig there, though. Hey, that's something. That's a chance. JR headshot away, but the win, or well, the round win already going to HellRaisers. Is this going to be the comeback of a lifetime? Is Cr4zy going to string 13 rounds together in a row? Or are they going to have to just make do with a, well, just a straight-up terrible buy, honestly. They're going to make something out of it, but it's going to be a buy focused around a saved scout and 2 saved deagles. Not really the wildest, or how do I put it, not really the best chances. And even then, you know, once we go to that second map is going to be, well, HellRaisers' map pick. That's their territory. So if this is going so badly for Cr4zy, then I worry and I wonder, what's Dust 2 going to be? 16 -3?
Whoa.
No, that's too toxic. I can't say that.
Toxic is already on Cr4zy, so you can't beat that. It's going to be Cr4zy moving her up, or at least around with that scout, looking for a frag, but so far nothing to be found. By the way, if HellRaisers wins, as we said before, they have to play Nexus. And that will be in the course of a week, the third time they go up against them. And HellRaisers so far have won twice. Once a day, best of 3. 16-11, 16-7, I do believe. And just a little bit closer, I do believe that was, yes, yesterday, if I'm correct.
You had
16-13.
You had a cheeky little look at HLTV, didn't you?
No, this is all in my head.
Oh, really?
I am the Wikipedia of Counter-Strike.
Clearly.
As you do see that execute coming down on at least smokes going towards outside. Is it a fake? I think it is. Because they're setting up to possibly go in towards lobby and then go on towards the A side. Flashbang smokes, whatever they need, they will throw out soon, and the execute will be ready to topple the forces of Cr4zy. As long as they do get those first kills in as well. There will be utility now flying away, at least going towards A right now soon. Maybe Lime will go down, and he's currently still at the main area. It's going to be a problem with the first frag towards Flyco. There will be a player close, but Problem will still get one of his own. It's going to be a frag fest going on. Cr4zy now also taking down Lime, but DemQ on side kill uncontested. Still gets a frag before being taken down by Flash, who, well, might have been a little bit late, but look at the time. 10 seconds left, and Flash has to go for either the plant or the kills real quickly, and time has run out. If he peeked a little bit wider, he could have actually made it work. It's going to be 15-3, and Cr4zy now with a round in return. Possibly going a little bit against your bet, but, well, they'll have to streak a few more together.
Yeah, that is definitely for certain. We'll see how that pans out in the end. HellRaisers, they are still incredibly close, and they are just going to force this through by the looks of things. Cr4zy, well, even though they did win that round, I believe that their economy still isn't going to be the best, although that's decent enough, actually. I might have underestimated that a little bit. The saved weapons do come in a bit better than I expected them to be.
Well, we do see, of course, a spray to come down. DemQ will get the first frag on towards Problem. And that means there's a good chance that Cr4zy will win yet another round. Their CT side now finally coming in towards fruition. But let's be honest, the last round for HellRaisers, they should have possibly won. Because they had a very good chance. They had very good positioning. Yet they didn't act upon it properly. And that would mean that, well, now maybe HellRaisers have shot themselves in towards their own foot. Meaning they are a little bit limp, and maybe they will lose quite a few rounds as Cr4zy will try to build some momentum of their own. Kalinka moving through, now trying to contest the yard area at lockers. There is a player who's also scared of garage. And indeed, there is a player in that general vicinity for the Cr4zy side. Oh, spots a player on towards ramp, taps it away. That Zerg is going down, and Psycho will be contested from the AC unit. Will he be expecting a player to his right? Yes, he will be. As Lime had taken a shot on towards the player in secret. JR now moving up with the scout as well, trying to get close. Flushes a flash to perfection, as he was a little bit scared by it. And then how is there a player there? Psycho going aggressive, leaving only Kalinka alive. And that means it's now a 1v4 for him. 30 seconds left on the clock. And there's a very good chance that we will go to yet another round with HellRaisers. Possibly then going for an eco round? Would you dare to say that it's possible, RJ?
Would they? Do you think so? I don't know.
They could. At least if they now lose against a very strong round from Cr4zy. 4 players alive, building economy as well. And of course, how much is building economy really going to help you? If you're knowing that one round could seal your fate. And of course, HellRaisers will just go for a normal eco, buy in the next, and close it out as soon as they possibly can.
Still going to, of course, play in this eco for the most possible damage that they can deal, and who knows, right? We've seen it in the past. Ecos don't mean everything. We've seen ecos be won. That can happen. It depends on how this is played out. Oh, that nade is already going to start off quite a bit. Yep, Flarage and Kalinka both seriously tagged. Cr4zy takes out Kalinka for starters. J Lime here on top of Silo with his teammate. They're looking around, they're trying to find something, but they don't really spot anything out just yet.
Well, meanwhile, we just wait for Problem to get a frag, possibly, but Psycho standing by to frag him out. We have that 5-on-3 situation with Lime now moving up to have the same angle, and he will be more successful. That deal in hand will eventually reign true. But still there a player behind, and of course they are on that eco, not expecting to win, as DemQ gets yet another frag in towards this round. meaning it's a 4-on-2. The time is ticking out, and also that AWP, I believe, was also looking towards this general direction.
Now, oh, come on, DemQQ, he let so many things happen in J-Lime. How are they letting so much damage get to them now? This is insanity. JR can actually recover the M4 now. He's in a nasty position. He does try and get out this fight. Then opts to go for the A site instead, but in the end, Toxic can at least close that down and make it so that HellRaisers are just a little bit further away, but still ever yet so close. You know, Cr4zy, they, like, I don't understand how they allowed so much damage to happen. This as well. Like, DemQQ's response is just, wait, oh, I'm being shot from above. Oh, yeah, I should maybe
but also
aim
from
up.
the side. Of course, he was trying to fight 2 battles, but indeed, it was a little bit sloppy, possibly a little bit of over-aggression, because if you're wanting to contest that outside position, you need someone to at least cover your top side, because it's going to be hard to contest it from your own. There will be now a buy round coming in from HellRaisers, meaning they have, again, a decent chance, and looking at the situation, they might go for an A execute. Last time it was close. They should have maybe committed a little bit faster and at least a little bit more as an entire unit. Same thing we saw from Cr4zy going wrong on their T side. But maybe they won't. Lime actually having main control already, so that could be a very good position to work from. Now the utility will fly in as well. JR possibly first frag onto Psycho. He's dropping down, but in towards the hut. There will be Toxic holding the angle. Will be spotted out. A problem also Lime within the second frag of his team. A 5v3 situation, and the utility, of course, flying. The molly, however, failing, as it is going to be eventually Dem to get a kill in return, only to be found straight after, as he did deal a headshot on towards Lime, but it is not enough. It's going to be that 2-on-4 Sensei and, of course, Turgis have to make it work. They have the fuse kits, but they are lacking the numbers to make this happen, as the first kill will come in from Sensei. Beautiful shot on towards Flourish, but now he's alone. He gets yet another frag, but they don't have to peek because time is running out. Goes for the wall bang, but well, we see the time ticking away. He tries to pre-fire whatever he can. Is Kalinka with the last one, 16-5. And, well, it hasn't been the biggest shutdown we've seen so far. It was Nexus against Apex, but HellRaisers really doing some magnificent stuff.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like Cr4zy could start a bit of a comeback, but they did not have much more of a chance. It was about 3-2 rounds that they actually got on that T side, and not really much more than that. A shame, of course, for Cr4zy that they really tried so hard, but this is a bit of a repeat. We've seen this before. We've seen Cr4zy
It's the
play,
same score as well.
It's exactly the same, as a matter of fact. Cr4zy, they try, but it just doesn't happen. You know, HellRaisers, like you said, they're help me out again. They're